Oh, hi there. I'll be with you in a minute. We were supposed to be watching a short today, but I can't seem to find anybody.
Hey, Zippo,
Speak of the devil. Yeah, Bite?
are we really going on vacation to a place called Banana Land?
No. We're watching a short called Journey to Banana Land.
I was wondering if that was it. I didn't think even you were boring enough to take us on vacation to a place called Banana Land.
Said the guy who once tried to get us to take a dedicated trip to see the world's biggest taco.
I ain't going.
Going where?
Banana Land! That's gotta be the stupidest vacation you planned since the trip to the Toothpick Sculpture Museum.
Why is it my fault that nobody else ever has vacation ideas around here? We're not going to a tourist trap called Banana Land. We're watching a short called Journey to Banana Land.
Oh. Well, I ain't doing that either.
We'll see about that. And unless my pattern recognition fails me, Lockjaw should be showing up right about... I'm afraid I have some bad news, Zeppo. You think we're going on vacation too? Well, not anymore. I was just on Banana Land's website to try to plan my itinerary, but it hasn't been updated since 1996. There's an actual tourist trap called Banana Land? Not is, was. They aren't open anymore. The last news update just said, thanks for 8 great months. I was kind of surprised the website is still there. That seems like the kind of domain name that wouldn't remain vacant very long. We weren't going anywhere anyway. It's not vacation time. It's watch a short time. Oh. I guess I'll go unpack then. The lack of communication in this house is beginning to get concerning.
Banana Land, Banana Land, Banana Land, Banana Land.
I hope they're not noisy neighbors. That tanks the property values.
How does the banana know where I live?
And never brought to mind.
Wow, that's a lot of coffee creamer.
South of the United States, the blue waters of the Caribbean Sea once were known as the Spanish Main.
Now they're known as
This was
Pinky.
because Spanish pirates sailed along these shores. Today, fast white steamships travel across the Caribbean with cargoes more valuable than pirates' gold.
Funko
And
Pops!
officers in trim white uniforms pick up their golden cargoes from a place we call Banana Land.
Because we have no respect for the natives.
This land, as you see on the map, extends from Mexico on the north, includes Guatemala and Honduras, Costa Rica and Panama, Colombia on the northern coast of South America, and the islands of Cuba, Jamaica, and the Dominican Republic.
The bananas are annexing everybody.
Some of the capital cities of Banana Land are as large as Jacksonville, Florida.
But only half
Fort
as damn.
Texas. This is Guatemala City as seen from the air.
I can see my house from here.
The streets and public squares are well laid out and beautifully planned. Some of the cities of Banana Land are cities of strange contrast.
And saturation and
because they
gamma.
have been destroyed by earthquakes and since rebuilt. Side by side, you will find the old and the new. Many of the buildings are of stucco.
In the
The
groundo.
streets, however, are still quaint and typically Spanish-American.
The El Tanner residence.
It is not unusual to see women with baskets on their heads out doing the family marketing.
She's promoting the sale of her family?
Many North American firms do business here.
Hi
In
there.
modern stores, you can buy things imported from the United States.
At outrageous markups.
People who live in the city dress very much like the people in our own southern states.
There goes L. Dustin
There are many
Hoffman.
churches, and people go to church regularly. They speak Spanish, of course, as most of them are of Spanish descent.
Darn foreigners
If you wanted
being
to
all
greet them, you
foreigny.
would say Buenos dias, which means in Spanish good day. The people are very polite.
Wow, they are different.
Sweet frozen ice is as popular as our own ice cream.
But let's not dwell on
Every
that.
public square has its public water fountain or watering trough. These women are filling their homemade jars with water just as their ancestors have done for hundreds of years.
To perform their traditional spinal recompressions. El Hooverville!
In all middle American cities, the market is a very busy place. Here you see all kinds of strange sights.
Like people wearing
Most of the
hats.
farmers who live around the city are Indians. Each morning they come into the city bringing hand-woven blankets, handmade pots and leather goods, fruits and vegetables from their small farms. Do you like ripe melon?
Sure, who doesn't?
Ripe red tomatoes?
Tomatoes.
Bright-colored peppers?
To burn your gut.
Or perhaps potatoes?
Boil,
So you
mash,
see the
stick
foods
and
they eat are
stew.
not unlike those in our own country. But now we've left the city for a trip into the highlands. There in the distance is one of the many volcanoes to be found in this part of the world.
El Loch Ness Monster! I have a dream I hope will come true.
In the highlands, we find mostly all the people are Indian.
We're on the road to
Their
somewhere.
transportation is primitive, old-fashioned. They believe in doing things as their fathers did them.
With no clue what they're
Their
doing and
fathers
instructions
were
they
here
won't
long
read.
Before the Spaniards came 400 years ago. Some of the Indians cannot even speak the language of a neighboring tribe. But when they get to market, they will have no trouble selling their wares.
What wares?
As soon
Anywheres!
as this old man hurries by, we'll take you into the next town.
That's one big peanut.
Water is not as plentiful as it is in most North American cities. A pool in a public square serves as a community laundry. Children here do a lot more of the family work than most of our parents ask us to do.
Lazy American
It is a
kids
part
with
of
their
their
hopscotch and their Nintendos.
Have you ever heard of the ancient Maya? It is spelled M-A-Y-A.
Oh.
These people are descendants of the Maya Indians and are said to be the oldest civilized people in the Western Hemisphere.
So they're
When the
immortal?
Spaniards came and conquered the Maya, they found brilliant costumes, art, and a culture unknown even in Europe at that time.
And completely
So now
annihilated
it is
them.
believed that the civilization of the ancient Maya may be among the oldest in the world. These, then, are among the very first Americans.
So they have a lousy school system too?
Today, Indians grow maize or corn just as we have learned to do. That is their principal food crop.
But where are the bananas?
Only a few have their own cattle, and the farmer who owns an ox is a rich man.
If I were an
You can
ox
see their
man.
way of farming is very simple compared to ours.
Self-fertilizing field.
On higher ground, we find the cocoa tree. In Spanish, it is called cacao.
Cacao!
Here is a cacao pod. The bean grows in this pod. It is from this bean that we get our cocoa and chocolate.
And our hemorrhoid
The sharp
suppositories.
knife
Flicker!
he uses to open the pod is called a machete. Now you've learned another Spanish word.
I'll be fluent any decade now.
After the cocoa beans are spread out in the sun to dry, they are packed in bags and shipped to countries all over the world.
Like Nicaragua
People
or
drink a great deal of
France.
cocoa, but Americans drink more coffee. Here are coffee beans.
Did I
being
start the wrong
picked
short?
from a
What's
bush.
going on here?
Did you know that they look like little red berries? Well, that's the way coffee grows. You might almost think they were cherries or cranberries.
Or plastic.
Although we call them coffee beans, they really are seeds that grow inside their red fruit.
That's one lucky trick-or-treater.
Coffee is one of the biggest exports of Middle America. Large plantations may have 1 million trees and employ thousands of workers.
Also, you can have your damn
Coffee grows
Starbucks.
best on high ground with good drainage and is found only in the tropics. Carts first bring the ripe berries or seeds to drying pits where they're unloaded to dry in the sun.
And here the coffee is mixed with salmon roe.
Here is a typical drying plant where coffee beans are spread out in the sun. The outer hulls are removed by washing.
It's a hull
Here
of a
you see
wash.
men pushing the beans through a watering trough. This washes away the hulls or outer parchment. When they are thoroughly washed, they are spread
By
out
a
in the sun to dry.
waterfall, I'm calling you.
After they turn green in the sun, the beans are split, packed into bags, and shipped to coffee roasters. all
After
over
being
the
trampled
world.
on.
We all know what happens to coffee after that.
It gets painted?
Now, huge streams of water being sprayed over a banana plantation is our first introduction to why this rich area is called Banana Land.
Took you long enough.
Banana plants need a great deal of water. In the dry season, they have to be watered in this overhead way.
Boy, Old Faithful's aim is off.
Another method of bringing water to the plants is by surface canals. This is called irrigation.
It's the Bananama Canal.
Here is a large banana plantation.
For plantationing
Now,
large
before we
bananas.
go any further, let's take a look and see where bananas first came from. Bananas originally came from the moist tropical region of southern Asia.
Equator's a
Alexander
long
the Great
country.
found them here. In time, banana roots were taken from their original home to the east coast of Africa. From here, the banana was carried westward across Africa by the Arabs. Portuguese explorers before the time of Columbus found them growing here and took them to the Canary Islands,
Where they were eaten
off
by
the North
dogs.
African coast. Around the year 1516, Father Tomas de Balanga brought them to the islands of the West Indies and later to the mainland of what we call Middle America.
Soon the bananas will take over the world.
Yes?
Now, after clearing the jungle, here's how the banana is planted. Holes are dug a foot deep and 15 to 18 feet apart.
Hey, we just placed a
banana
drum.
root or bit looking very much like a tree stump and weighing 3 to 5 pounds is planted in each hole.
He was too
Each root has 2 or more
young.
eyes like the eyes of a potato. Here's how the root would look if you could see it in the ground. Each bud or eye on these underground stems can develop into a plant or a shoot with leaves.
Or a shoot with laundry.
From these sprout many cord-like roots which grow in all directions. They absorb water and minerals from the soil. The first leaf appears above the ground 3 or 4 weeks after planting.
They're growing a tea
Only
candle.
the stronger shoots are allowed to grow. The others are cut away. In about 6 months, the plants are more than 10 feet high,
They grow up so fast.
and at 9 months they are ready to blossom.
So the hunt for a mate begins.
About 10 months after planting, the flower has appeared at the top of the tall stalk, and as it grows, it turns downward. Small bananas soon appear.
Every time
As the
you
bananas
are
grow, they
near.
turn upwards toward the light.
It has a balubius.
At the end of about 14 months, the bunch is fully developed and ready to harvest. The stem which bears the bunch of fruit grows up through the center of the stalk and comes out on top.
I made it, Ma. Top of the plant.
So you see, the young banana plant looks like a tree, but it is not a tree because there is no wood.
Where'd my wood go?
Trunk or stalk consists only of overlapping leaf sheaths. And as you saw on the chart, each plant bears only a single bunch of bananas.
Here, a group of
Bananas
mercenaries are
harvested
called in to
year-round.
hunt down rogue
Men
bunches.
usually work in teams of 3. One is called a cutter. And here is a team starting out to work.
We're going on a banana hunt. We're gonna catch a big one.
The cutter uses a sharp-edged tool on the end of a pole to nick the plant a few feet below the bunch. See how he does it?
Ow! Ow!
As
How'd
the
you like it
plant
if somebody
bends,
nicked your stalk?
the bunch comes down on the shoulder of another man who is called a backer. Each bunch weighs from 50 to 75 pounds. When a man has to carry this load on his back, it is easy to understand why he is called a backer.
He funded the bananas on
The fruit
Kickstarter?
must be cut at just the right stage of growth, when the bananas are not too fat or not too thin. Each plant is cut down when its bunch has been harvested. The bunch is made up of clusters called hands. Each hand has from 12 to 20 bananas, and each bunch has from 6 to 14 hands. Now, how many bananas are in the bunch?
21.
The bunches are laid carefully on padding to keep them from being bruised. Rough handling at this point leaves bruise marks on the tender fruit. The whole operation, right from the
And here are
first
the locals
cutting, is
enjoying their
planned
own
in
version
time.
of a hayride.
For from the moment the truck arrives to start the bananas on their way to you, everything runs on schedule.
You heard him, up to, beat cheeks!
Even as the bananas are loaded for the first stage of their journey, a ship of the Great White Fleet is on its way, scheduled to make port at the same time the bananas arrive from the plantation.
Unfortunately, it's going to hit an iceberg and
Notice
sink.
how padding is placed over the bunches at all times to protect them from the sun, to keep them from being scarred by rough handling.
Now they're all tucked in and ready for Banana Betty Bye time.
When do they get their pajamas?
How you gonna keep 'em down on the
On the
farm?
plantation, where each bunch of bananas will be washed and inspected before being loaded into freight cars for the trip down to the coast in the waiting steamship.
Off with their stem!
See how each bunch is dipped several times. Great care is taken to see that the bunches are clean before they leave the plantation.
And all the spiders are dead.
All right, I'll talk.
Now as the bananas are loaded aboard the freight cars for the trip to the coast, and with banana leaves carefully protecting them from the sun, you might like to know the banana is one of the few fruits that loses its flavor if allowed to ripen on the plant.
Does your banana lose its flavor on the banana stalk overnight?
While we think of it as a hearty, everyday food, this is only because so much care is taken to see that it arrives at our tables in good condition.
Where they sit and rot because nobody's eating them.
Even building a railroad to haul bananas through this tropical country is a story in itself.
Oh, do
The
tell!
first banana railways took 25 years to build only 100 miles of track.
Well, at least the bananas had plenty of time to ripen.
They're really proud of their erector set.
The ship, one of the Great White Fleet, meets the train.
And it's love at
Then
first
begins
sight.
the race against time to get the bananas into the air-conditioned hold of the ship. It is interesting to know that if it were not for fast transportation, bananas in North America and the rest of the world would be a rare delicacy, a fruit no one could afford to have or to buy.
Or to throw on the ground for people to slip
As
on.
workers carry the bunches to the conveyor belt, a man hacks off the end of each bunch with the same kind of knife we saw used on the plantation. Remember? It's called a machete.
Starring Danny Trejo.
Could someone tell me banana? I want to go home.
Hold still.
Ah, my nose!
The conveyor belt, which carries the bananas from the dock to the ship, even has canvas pockets to protect the fruit.
And hold their wallets.
An inspector watches each bunch as it comes aboard. If he thinks a bunch will ripen too soon, it is taken off and used.
Yep, this part got redacted.
Bananas enjoy the banana go-round at the Banana Fair.
Now the ship is about ready to leave.
Be-oh.
Farewell, bananas.
Within
I
12
hope we
hours,
meet again
10
someday.
million bananas have been taken aboard, and the ship is on its way to the United States.
Then the bananas mutiny, overthrow the crew, and become fruit pirates.
From New York, New Orleans, San Francisco, and other ports in the United States, bananas are shipped by rail across country in special cars that are kept cool in summer, warm in winter.
And all dressed up in love.
Yes, it's lots and lots of trains.
Arriving at their destination, the green bananas are bought by the wholesaler, who hangs them on racks in a warm ripening room.
Where they're tortured for
The
information.
bunches are kept hanging anywhere from 3 or 4 days to a week. Now a bright golden yellow, the
Yellow!
bananas are ready for market. The even temperature of the ripening room, between 60 and 68 degrees, plus proper humidity and ventilation, has brought out the full natural flavor of the fruit. He's cutting off what we call hands of bananas from the main stem.
His name
The
is
color of
Edward.
the skin is a guide to ripeness. Some banana packers sort and grade the fruit for quality and ripeness. In some places, you can buy bananas all dressed up in special banded packages.
That'll be an extra $5.
The golden fruit is now ready for its final trip to your neighborhood market. Carefully boxed to keep them from bruising, bananas
too
are
late.
bought by the pound and sold by the pound. Does this look familiar?
Unfortunately, yes.
Ah, they've caught her eye.
Because they're the only thing there that's not round.
Oh, these ones are the perfect size to shove up a car's tailpipe. Oh, good, we'll take them.
Bananas are a favorite breakfast fruit in every home.
Except Gorilla
Like with a
Grodd's.
hot or cold cereal, they top off any dish and help start the day right.
What's this mess? Where's my steak? But I wanted waffles!
School cafeterias that cooperate with state and federal agencies in providing balanced lunches for children
Don't exist
report
anymore.
Bananas are among the most popular and best liked fruits that are served.
Was the plate really necessary?
Bananas can be served in many different and many attractive ways. Blended with fruits, nuts, and gelatins, they provide high food value and nourishment.
It's the Macy's Banana Day Parade!
Many of us enjoy a mid-afternoon snack.
A raw
when it's
pancake
a
batter.
helpful banana milkshake. If you don't have an electric mixer,
Sucks to be
smash
you!
a fully ripe banana into Mother's mixing glass, pour in cold milk, and beat until smooth. Doesn't that look good?
I plead the fifth.
Yes, and it's nourishing too.
Duh.
And for dinner, see what Mother has for dessert. Banana gingerbread shortcake.
What's this mess? Where's my
Another of the many
steak?
tempting ways in which this nutritious fruit can be prepared.
With enough sugar and fat to override the nutrient value.
Before they reach your table, our journey to Banana Land is ended.
Please collect all your belongings and exit to the right of the short.
We know you like bananas.
I said the right of the short! Yeah. Uniting fruits one banana at a time.
Where did all these bananas come from?
The Banana Land gift shop. I was hoping to find t-shirts or a hat or a mug or something, but this was all they had.
You stopped at the Banana Land gift shop,
Yep.
even though Banana Land doesn't exist anymore.
Yep.
And we never actually went anywhere.
Yep.
I'm not even going to ask.
It's amazing the fun you can have with some grocery store bananas and a printer.